Hello, second graders. Today is Thursday, and we are going to continue talking about place value a little bit. So yesterday on your asynchronous learning day, you watched a couple of video lessons from Miss Boyce about place value. And we're going to continue talking about it today because it's very important for all of us to really understand place value and what it is and why it's important. And that's going to help us with our two-digit addition and especially with our two-digit subtraction, which we're going to start in a couple of weeks. So let's get our brains warmed up with some questions. What is place value? What do I mean when I say place value? And why is it important? What's the big deal about place value? Place value is a way to figure out the value of the digits in a number. Let me say that again. Place value is a way to figure out the value of the digits in a number. So value means how much something is worth. And the location or the place of the digit in a number, that's what tells us how much it is worth. That's why we have tens place, ones place, and then eventually we'll talk about the hundreds place and even the thousands place. So why is it important? We need to understand place value because that is what helps us to read numbers. It is what helps us to add and subtract numbers and also compare numbers. So we're going to watch a short video about a place value house. And this is a cute little strategy that I found that I thought would be very helpful as a way to help us visualize in our minds what these place values really mean.
Hello kids, and welcome to the Place Value House. Today we are talking about ones and tens. I have here a Place Value House that has spots for ones, tens, and hundreds. We will only be talking about the ones and tens today. Here we have the tens and ones places. There are rules in this house that have to be followed, and one of the rules is that you can only have one digit in each room. A digit is any number from 0 to 9. Let me show you what I mean. Here is the number 2, and this is one digit because there is just one number. Let's look at another number. This is the number 20. Can you tell me if this number has more than one digit? Yes, the number 20 has two digits because the 2 is a digit and the 0 is a digit. Uh-oh, we cannot put both numbers in the ones room. We have to split them into each place. This is still the number 20. We just have the 2 in the tens place and the 0 in the ones place. Now that we have that rule out of the way, let's look at some place value blocks. Here is a ones block. This ones block is worth 1 and is represented by the number 1. What if I add more ones blocks to the ones place? How many ones blocks do I have now? I have 5 ones blocks. Great job! We can see the number 5 above the room, and we are not breaking the house rules because we still have just one digit in the room. Now let's add 4 more ones blocks. How many blocks do we have now? Can you count them for me? We have 9 of the ones blocks. Great job again! But wait a minute, another block just moved into the ones place, but something is wrong. I think I know what it is. We have reached the number 10. Because we have reached the number 10, we have more than one digit, and we are breaking the rule of one digit per room. Now here is the really cool part that I learned the other day. Watch what happens to the blocks when there are 10 of them in the ones place. All of the 10 ones blocks stuck together to form what we call a tens block. This is a group of 10 ones called a 10. Why do you think we call this a 10? We call it a 10 because this tens block is made up of 10 ones blocks. You guys are awesome! When we had 9 of the ones blocks in the room, we had no problems, but once we reached 10, we had to form a tens block. The tens block is now in the tens place and not the ones place. In the tens place, we are only allowed to have groups of 10. That means we cannot have any ones blocks in this room. If we look at the number above, we see a number 1 in the tens place and the number 0 in the ones place. We have to remember that the 10 in the tens place is really 10 ones blocks that have grouped themselves together to form a 10. This is some amazing stuff to learn. Let's look at another one. Here we have 4 ones blocks, and they go in the ones place. Now count with me as we add more ones blocks to the room. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and here comes one more. Once we have 10 of the ones blocks, we have to group them into what? We group them into a 10. Great job! This is a tens block. Can you tell me which room a tens block belongs in? It belongs in the tens room. You guys are amazing at this. We now know that when we have 10 ones blocks, it is grouped into a 10. The number 10 means 1 10 and 0 ones because there is nothing in the ones room. Wow, this has been amazing. Thank you so much for helping me. Come visit me again real soon. Goodbye.
All right, kiddos. So we want to make sure that we are talking about the important parts from the video. So the house rules, right? Only one digit in each room at a time. So visualize that place value house in your head, and each one of those rooms is a place value. So we had a tens room and a ones room, and you cannot have more than one digit in each room at a time. Okay, so in that ones room, you cannot have 10 ones. Once you reach 10 ones, you have to regroup those 10 ones into a 10 and move it over into the room next door. And no single ones blocks allowed in the tens room. Only groups of ones that equal a 10. So only those 10 rods are allowed in the tens room. Things to remember: a digit is any number from 0 to 9. So a one-digit number, that would be like saying 2 or 5. A two-digit number, that would be saying 15 or 25, right? There are two numbers that make up that number. It is a two-digit number. And then each room in the place value house is a place value spot and a number. So we have a tens place and a number, and we can visualize the tens room in the house. And we have a ones place value spot, and we can visualize the ones room in our place value house. So I hope that was helpful. Visualization is always a good way to reinforce what we're learning. So I hope that was helpful, and we will talk more about the place value house.